Hello everyone. In continuation with the first video, today we'll start with recombination DNA vaccine. As we all know that infectious disease are the biggest cause of mortality and morbidity in human, especially in poor and developing countries. New and emerging infectious agents are also being added to the list, with more than 29 infectious agents since 1973 causing more than 20 diseases. The study of DNA vaccines first began in 1990 when the plasmid DNA was injected into the skin or muscles. It was reported to induce an antibody response to the antigen. The simplicity and the compromise of this vaccine approach has attracted much attention in conducting studies on viral and non viral antigens. In the theory of DNA vaccines, without the need of proliferating pathogen can cause widespread immune response such as viral vaccine. हम ये बोल सकते हैं दूसरे वैक्सीन्स के कंपैरिजन में डीएनए वैक्सीन इसीलिए भी बेहतर है क्योंकि इसमें आपको पैथोजन को यूज़ नहीं करना पड़ता है. Now we'll go with types of vaccine. We know that there are 5 generations of vaccines. Basically, we'll deal with first, second and third generation. First generation of vaccine, that is inactivated vaccine, it is a vaccine consisting of virus particle, bacterial or other pathogen that have been grown in culture and then killed. इन्हें मार सकते हैं हीट से, फॉर्मल्डिहाइड से. These vaccines include hepatitis A, hepatitis B, polio vaccines. सेकेंड है इसी का फर्स्ट जनरेशन के ही सेकेंड टाइप होता है लाइव एटेन्यूएटेड वैक्सीन्स. The use of non-pathogenic pathogen of microbial origin to produce weakened microbial pathogen that is not capable of causing disease or which does not cause a very severe disease. Various physical and chemical methods or mutational radiations or genetic engineering are used for this. This vaccine series is highly beneficial due to the viability of the microbes and in the imitation of actual illness, and sometimes a mild illness stimulates both immune system. इसके जो वैक्सीन्स हैं those includes rubella, mumps, measles, chickenpox, tuberculosis, cholera, typhoid, yellow fever और भी बहुत सारे हैं. Next we'll go with second generation vaccine. सेकेंड जनरेशन वैक्सीन को हम रिकॉम्बिनेंट वैक्सीन भी बोलते हैं. दीज रिकॉम्बिनेंट वैक्सीन्स आर मेड बाय जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग एंड दे आर basically of two types. In first types, those used to provide live vaccine are used to modify genetic engineering methods to non-agonize an infectious agent by eliminating or causing mutation in a part of one or more genes. वो वाले genes those are responsible for pathogen. मतलब माइक्रोब्स में जो पैथोजेनिसिटी है उसके लिए जो भी जीन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है उन्हें जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाई करके जब हम बनाते हैं वैक्सीन्स, दोज आर सेकेंड जनरेशन वैक्सीन्स. द नेक्स्ट अप्रोच इज टू आइसोलेट वन और मोर जीन एनकोडिंग पैथोजेनिक प्रोटीन एंड इम्पोर्टिंग देम इनटू अनदर हार्मलेस और वीकेंड वायरस और बैक्टीरिया. दीज आर सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ सेकेंड जनरेशन वैक्सीन. थर्ड जनरेशन वैक्सीन जिन्हें हम जीन वैक्सीन भी बोलते हैं. These vaccines are direct injected plasmid that have the ability to express the desired gene into the body's cell. By inserting the plasmid into the body, the recombinant protein is produced in the body and placed in the immune system. DNA suspension vaccines are the form of bacterial plasmid carrying immunogenic protein gene. Now we'll go in detail with DNA vaccine. The first demonstration of the usefulness of the vaccine like DNA vaccine was done by the injection of human growth hormone encoding plasmid, which is also called HGH, to the mouse. In this type, it is the first test of HGH gene was injected into the skin of the ear of mouse to produce protein for treatment. Several immunized mice showed remarkable levels of antibodies, similar to the immune response observed in the viral infection or the weakened virus vaccination. Intracellular production of peritoneal or peptide antigen induces high Th1 cellular response. However, due to the low protein production, which is encoded by DNA vaccine, the Th2 immune response is low. Considering the usefulness of DNA vaccine in small animal models, further clinical trial studies were carried out. One of the several phase 1 trial which began about 2 decades ago is about evaluating the DNA vaccines of HIV-1 virus for the purpose of therapeutic and preventive use. Further studies have included DNA vaccines for other HIV-1 antigen, cancer antigen, influenza, HPV, hepatitis and malaria. However, results of these early studies were not satisfactory. DNA vaccines are safe, well tolerated, but they are proved to be poorly immunized. The induced antibody titer is very low or absent. CD8 plus T cell response is rarely present, and the response of T type CD4 plus is also low. These studies have shown that DNA vaccine can safely produce a human immune response. In this diagram, you can see that the virus that has identified a vaccine gene, it is amplified, then plasmid is infused into the another organism now which has the DNA plasmid vaccines, which is then transformed to bacterial cell that is purified and is used as DNA vaccine. We know that these vaccines are safe and tolerable. The reason is DNA vaccine seems to be more harmless and more stable than ordinary vaccines because plasmids are non-viable and they do not multiply and therefore have a low risk of developing secondary disease of infection. The main concern about the potential DNA vaccines have been integrated into the host genome and generated immune response to the agent, that is ntDNA. Extensive surveys have found that little evidence of integration and the merger risk appears to be less than normal mutation. Now we can see the characteristics of DNA vaccines. They have a rapid design, their production is very rapid and large scale production can be cheap. The stability is very high as compared to live attenuated vaccines. They are easy to transport and storage. They does not require cultivation of dangerous infectious agent. In that way they are more safe. They doesn't have any risk of reverting back to virulent form. That is, अगर हम ऑर्गेनिज्म को यूज़ करते हैं तो हमारे पास चांसेस होते हैं दैट पैथोजेनिक ऑर्गेनिज्म वापस अपनी वायलेंस गेन कर ले. बट इफ़ वी यूज़ plasmid, reverting back to virulent form for plasmid is very rare. Next, immune response, which is the major advantage of this vaccine, is it induces both cellular and humoral immune response, which is similar to live attenuated vaccine. Mechanism of DNA vaccines. DNA vaccination is an interesting method of immunization for its ability to induce CTL strong response. It can activate other immune system. Like you can see in diagram, the DNA vaccines achieve this goals by mimicking natural virus infection. The expression of foreign gene transmitted to an in vivo, like the body of mouse, results in production of protein. These protein, such as protein produced by viral genes, are processed and delivered to the immune system. The ultimate outcome of DNA vaccination is the production of non-living, non-proliferating, non-inflammatory antigens that not only stimulate the immunity of T cells like CD8 plus and CD4 plus cell, but also stimulate B cells. The detail of this mechanism are still being investigated, but somatic cells like myocytes or keratinocytes and antigen presenting progenitor cells are two major types of cell that are at the onset of immune response generated by DNA vaccine. For an example, after intramuscular injection of a plasmid, dendrite cells and monocytes are transfected. After the plasmid is inserted into the transfected cells nucleus, the plasmid gene are expressed and the external antigen is produced as a peptide chain of the host cell. These peptides can act as dendritic cells in conjugation with class 1 or class 2 MHC or cross-linking pathway, which ultimately lead to immune function. This is how the DNA vaccines work. This is the major reference of the material. Thank you.